fraudulent election is as deadly as it is absurd, it is authoritarian, it is preposterous, it is white nationalist, it is fascist.
All right, so we are here today in front of Trump Tower documenting a protest for Trump to leave office. As of today, Trump has not conceded his presidency, but it's only a matter of time before he's forced out. There's not much a president can do to stop the cycle of democracy. So we're here to gather the opinions of the everyday people, of the people on the street. There's a small crowd gathering in front of Trump Tower, and we're going to see what they have to say.
I'm just here on vacation. Chicago is one of my favorite cities, and just left a restaurant, and I saw a couple of folks walk by with signs to get Trump pence out, so I just wanted to come and check it out. Well, the key from the get-go is it's all about facts, and I think with a lot of people, they get so bogged down into conspiracy theories, and a lot of folks have become lazy, and a lot of folks have not done their research and doing their homework and figuring out what's real, what's not real. And I think that's been an issue over the years. And regardless if you're a Republican, Democrat, it's important to find the facts, do your homework before you go and start spreading things that's fictional. So I think the key is for folks, again, to do their research and comb through all of the BS and really identify those facts before you start spreading stuff, because it can be very dangerous. I'm hopeful, and hopefully everyone is hopeful, but we're going to have to come together. This is going to have to be a healing process for everyone, and I have faith in the American people. And we just have to go and talk to each other. We can't be in our silos where we're not talking and communicating with each other, so I think, again, we just have to have, an open dialogue, trust each other, and set aside our differences.
Well, I saw two women walking with the Trump out shirts. I am extremely angry with what's going on in this country today. And when I saw it, I said, well, let me follow them and figure out what's happening. There is very little chance of voter fraud in this country. All of the data shows, even the most conservative organization, the Heritage Foundation, shows that it's like 0.00009%. Very, very rare. So I would say that anyone questioning the results is nuts. I think the firing of qualified folks from the security folks, he's going to potentially fire the CIA director, FBI director. It's almost like setting this country up for more chaos. So yes, I am very, very concerned about it. If he doesn't leave office, he'll be removed from office. I think we are becoming an absolute joke to the rest of the world. This is about democracy, and I don't think he understands democracy. He doesn't understand government. He doesn't understand, the rights of the people. The people have spoken. He needs to get his ass out of the damn White House. It's a very sad state of affairs that we as a country of 300 and some million are so divided. And while Vice President-elect Biden will be our next president, you still have 70 million people in this country that voted for Trump. And it really speaks volumes about where we are as a country. Very sad.
Trump will go.
I don't feel that he's strong enough as a president to be a president. I believe that there will be other nations that's going to be running this country. Okay? We need someone like President Trump to run this nation because he's fearless and can't no one control him. And not only that, he don't need your money. If Biden get in, sorry to say, I have nothing against him because the first time I did vote for him, but after I saw some things, I changed my vote. For the simple reason, we're dealing with a whole lot of things at once going on. People from other nations are watching this nation, including terrorists. Biden could not handle these terrorists that some probably already over here, and they just waiting to see if Biden's gonna get in so they can all come over here. They want to make this a communist country if they could. And I believe as Biden president, it will become a communist nation.
And what does communism look like to you?
Slavery.
Well, I'm out here for a few reasons. One of them is my concern about the transition itself. There are very real threats. This is unlike any transition. I'm a historian. We've never had a transition like this at all, where the guy, and it is always a guy, maybe someday he'll be a woman, but the sitting incumbent president has been decisively defeated both in the popular vote and in the electoral college, is still refusing to concede, even in the face of overwhelming evidence that they were defeated. So this is much less close than 2000 with Bush v. Gore. This is a clear mandate, and still, nonetheless, they're not conceding. We predicted that. We expected that. This is consistent with Trump's fascistic, authoritarian worldview and ideology, also with his personality, also with his classically malignant, narcissistic personality, which is thoroughly incapable of acknowledging defeat ever under any circumstances. Even if he's out of there, they are doing everything they can to screw up, to burn down the house and to poison the well of the transition in ways meant to cripple the Biden administration before it even began. This government is responsible for 250,000 dead people, and it's going to be 400,000 to 500,000 by next January 20th because they believe in herd immunity. They are social Darwinists. They are anti-maskers. They're completely contrary to medical science. And for me, that's the top reason that they got to go right now. We need a transitional government of public health immediately. I don't think we can let this government stand until January 20th, 2020.
We won the election. Biden won, we won the election, you lost, and you got to go. He's basically house cleaning at the Department of Defense. Think about that. Mark Esper, the Secretary of Defense, was forced out. A number of other people have now been forced out. And they're putting in with Trump loyalists. So that's very concerning. He's been moving some of his people. The term I used from this expert was burrowing in. He changed them into positions that are civil servants so they can't be fired and can't be pushed out in the next government. It took a lot for people to come out. I mean, we don't know how many people ultimately, if we'll ever know, might have given their life to vote. But it's certainly very feasible that people standing in line for hours and hours, including many elderly people, that some of them will get sick. You find any case in history where an authoritarian regime has just easily went away without trying to hold on to power. And so we have to recognize, and this one is, of course, something we've always been very conscious of. This is not just any authoritarian or any fascist regime. This one is sitting in the most powerful military government in the world.
All right, so tell me, how are you feeling and where are we going?
We are going to Schaumburg. We heard some rumors about some possible Stop the Steal rallies.
I'm feeling nervous. I mean, I never really left the city of Chicago, so, and especially for like what we are possibly entering when we get there, it is something that's going to be a little bit shell-shocking, and I'm excited, but I'm also very nervous. We'll see how the day pans out.
I am less nervous about what we're going to find there and more nervous about the possibility of not finding anything there, because that would kind of be frustrating and a bit of a bust. Because it's Schaumburg, and because it's more right-leaning, more right-leaning suburb, I doubt that there's going to be that much conflict. It's a possibility, of course, like any other situation, but I don't know. Well, I guess we'll just have to see.
I've heard rumors about possible rallies and stuff all over the state. We'll see.
They're just getting some B-roll of us.
Of me?
Yeah. Hey, do a thumbs up or something.
I'm actually an IT consultant. It's easy to manipulate things electronically, either through servers or some of these special programs out there like Dominion. It's easy to change the votes. I was actually involved in a recount back a couple years ago when the mail-in votes came in. And part of the problem is we were not allowed to see what was being transcribed from a mail-in ballot to we were not able to see what was being transcribed by two people that were taking the mail-in ballots and transcribing to a new ballot. For all we know, they could have, changed the dynamic of that election. But working in IT, I know how easy it is to manipulate the machines, to manipulate the data. What we need is either a complete recount or a redo of this election. We need two sets of eyes, both Democrat and Republican, to be looking at these votes coming in. It's got to be on a paper ballot. Yeah, it's going to be painstaking. It's going to take probably weeks to do. But if we're president, it became President Biden, if he's going to ever reestablish unity between the Republicans, the Democrats, we're going to need a complete redo or a recount of the votes that have come in.
Now, when the media announced the Biden win, how did that make you feel?
It made me, I felt betrayed, mainly by the media, because the media has been out there with their talking points and everything else, and what's gone on over the last several years. It was the ultimate betrayal, especially by Fox, announcing that Arizona had basically got the electoral votes for Biden. So yeah, a little bit betrayed. So it's going to be probably a national lockdown, and it's going to be a national masking thing. Again, you look at the faces of these young children, they're in fear because everybody's got a mask on. They don't see the smiles, they don't see the frowns, they don't see, the love that's out there from all of us. It's going to be more of what we had under the Obama administration. You're going to see all sorts of things that you're not going to like. We're going to probably end up going to some sort of permanent lockdown. I've seen too many of my friends and neighbors put out of business with what we've got going on right now with the lockdowns because of the COVID. It's time to get back to work, America. Praying that President Trump can get another 4 years, finish cleaning out the swamp, aerating the swamp, and hopefully bring honor and integrity back to the electoral and the voting process.
I'm out here today because I thought we had a pretty bogus election. I think most of the country feels that way. And as far as I'm concerned, President Trump won this election. I'm out here showing my support. Well, for a long time I was watching Fox, but they've been kind of letting me down on and off,
Yeah.
I listen to Alex Jones too. I don't agree with everything he says, but I do agree with quite a bit of it. I really do. I think the alternative media is trying to report things a lot more objectively, and they don't. Not to the same extent, they don't put their own personal feelings into it, like I think the mainstream media does. They see it the way they want to, and that's what they show you, I think, sometimes. It's a strong feelings about this election. I think it's a very important one. I've never liked Joe Biden. I don't think Joe Biden really cares too much about America, and President Trump's got to win this thing. That's just all there is to it. He won the election. Everybody knows it. he got more votes than he did the last time he ran. People may say what they want about the guy, but I think he's really for America first. And he does one heck of a job. He really does. He fights for us.
Can you explain what Trump has done for America?
Well, I think he's kept us safer. He took us out of the Iran deal. I was never a proponent of that idea. He's made legal immigration, I think, better. I know one person personally who was he became a citizen while he was president, and it tickled her pink. Though it was done really well and everything, and she's very proud to be an American citizen now. Biden's idea about blanket citizenship for all the illegals in the country, that's not a good idea. I mean, I have no problem with people coming to this country any way they have to. Believe me, there's a lot of crappy places in the world. If I was born, then I would do just about anything to get to America. But I think once you get here, you got to try and run yourself through the system, become legal, and have the same pros and cons as the rest of American citizens do.
Yeah.
And there's some people here who should not be citizens. People who have records and stuff like that, you can't make them a citizen. That's just not right. It makes a very bad security issue for this country. And don't take this personally, just because I don't know you. I'm assuming this won't be edited or changed around in any way, shape, or form or anything to make me sound like a liberal. No. I'm not. I mean, if you're a liberal, God bless you. You got to write your own opinion too. But I'm really proud of our president. I'm proud of all the people making a stand and everything. I really hope this turns out the way it should be. So on January 20th, at 12 o'clock, President Trump is being inaugurated for a second time, and we get 4 more years of a really great leader. So God bless the U.S. God bless President Trump.
Blue Lives Matter flag. What does that flag mean to you?
To me, it symbolizes freedom and justice. Helps support the people that help support us.
Yeah. Now, what is that? I guess another question. What is that? What does a Trump presidency mean to you?
Trump presidency means patriotism. People that can love America without being afraid to be antagonized for it. People always bash Trump supporters for being a Trump supporter because they love America. But it's a nation that helps people with opportunity. I know my mother, she's an immigrant. She came here because of the great opportunity in America. And I'm grateful to be in a country where I feel safe and I have my freedom of free speech. I can support anyone I want, and I have people backing me up with the police to help keep me safe.
Now, what does, in your opinion, what does the left stand for?
Well, we see it further the left goes on, the more they lean towards socialism. And in every case, socialism always leads to communism. And we know it isn't a, great way of living. It's a horrible one. Everyone's living in poverty. Everyone's horrible. But they don't symbolize patriotism. They want to get rid of flags like this, flags like that of showing love for the president. They don't agree with others' opinions. If they see it, they bash you no matter what. The thing I like about the Republican Party is that they don't care about your political stance because they'll back it up even if it's the opposite. They don't care. They're fine with whatever because they believe in freedom of free speech. Whereas the Democratic Party lately is wanting to abolish it almost.
Let's see. All right, so we've done a little bit today over this weekend.
Yes.
Give us your thoughts on the entire weekend.
So the entire weekend as a whole was very interesting, and we really inserted ourselves into both climates of, I guess you could say the country. We really got 2 different perspectives, and actually multiple beyond 2, because obviously everyone has a different kind of way of thinking. I'm very glad that we came out to both. Both demonstrations were completely polar opposites, both in what they were protesting and in, I guess, how they approached it, and the location they chose. But yeah, I'm very excited about all of the things that we got.
And do you feel any less nervous about traversing the political landscape, I guess?
Yes, obviously I was a little bit nervous, but coming out I feel way better, and I talked to some very interesting people. So it was a day well spent and a weekend very well spent. So.
The weekend has been interesting. It is a lot smaller personally than I expected. I guess the attention is all on DC right now. So it wasn't as widespread as it was in DC versus Chicago, but the emotions were still just as intense.
Jacksonville is next.
And that makes me a little nervous for the state of the country, but I was glad to be able to have open dialogue with any political side, because in today's world, I guess civilian discourse is hard to come by. So it was interesting to see,